Yo, welcome to the Straight Up Talk where we provide for you impactful, insightful videos. So today, guys, I'm here with a new video and a new guest in a new location. First, I'd urge you guys to like and subscribe to the channel. And with no further ado, I'd want my guest to introduce himself. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Martin Kamoiro. So who I am, what I do.
Yeah.
I love nature. I love a bit of writing. In fact, leo nilikuwa nakaa hivi chini nasema it's been a while since I literally wrote a story.
Okay.
So and how I also like to communicate is through stories.
Okay.
Yes. By profession, I deal with businesses.
Okay.
Businesses and looking at their financial needs. And so that is how I tap into the work environment.
Yeah.
But also more to that, I'm a family man. Not so long ago did I become a family man. Juicy sick tumble. Yeah. And I like the experience. I like the journey.
Yeah.
Yes. So glad to be on the show.
Taught you already some things.
Hey, mazeri nimekuwa mubabas.
So we're expecting a lot of stories from you today.
Kidogo tu.
Ya kuguzia tu kiasi kwa maji.
Just
You know, one thing I like about you especially, because I knew you from church, from Mavuno, yeah? And you're the one who invited me in the group. The group. I like, you're the one who told me, yeah? But one thing I liked so much was your story, because the time you shared with us, that's why even I wanted you to come for this topic. When I thought about advice for guys before marriage, yeah? Because so many of us right now, there's so much advice going on right now. From all kinds.
Yes.
I can even give you examples of the advice we're getting in case you don't know. As young guys, yeah. But I like what you are sharing with us. And could you share with us a brief story about your way to marriage?
So it's a very interesting journey because, okay, where I work, at least it gave me an opportunity to travel, had some good perks here and there. So once in a while, nilikuwa nakula soft life, naget. Okay. So the interesting bit about it is when you're young and you have a clique of friends, all you want to do is to have a good time, party and move from town to town. And when you do all that, you get some sense of fulfillment and enjoyment.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a time where on one weekend we went to Naivasha, then we went to the boys, then we had a very good time. And then after that I came back home. Alafu saa hizo ndio kwanza unabaki solo. So ideally mimi nakuwaga extrovert. So I really love good company. I love friends and I love being the life of the party.
Yeah.
But now in this case, I remember coming back home and I was just by myself. Yeah. Alafu nikajiuliza, okay, nimegonga miaka 27. Hii miaka 27 mazee.
Tricky stage.
Ni tricky. Hiyo ndio ile stage mzee anataka kuwa na kwanza nilikuwa nimeproject.
Yeah.
I'd be having a wife.
Yeah.
I have a house of my own. I have a car.
Yeah.
I had all those dreams in mind. Alafu 28. So this is how I planned. 28 nipate ka first born. By the time I'm hitting 30 like my dad, niko na watu wawili. So that's how I had it in mind and I had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Mtu wangu 27 inakaa minagonga, uko hapo inakuangalia and you're like, boss, where am I in this whole relationship space? So before that, of course, before you're 23, 24, I tried out different, I tried out relationships with, I'm saying you taka, okay, is this my kind? Is this really what I like? This person makes me feel like this. Is this kind of, let's say, relationship I want to be in?
Yeah.
Am I confident enough that this will be a good mother to my children? I projected at all that. And nilikuwa zile za hapana, huyu hapana, this is not working out. So I remember there was a point nilikuwa na girlfriend yangu and I had to have a conversation with her because initially I just sat down by myself niko, okay, is this thing really working out? Ama ninamwestia time.
Si yeye anakuestia time.
Si yeye ananiwestia time.
Wewe ndio unadhani
mimi ndio nafikiri anamwestia time. Why? Because I was there not for really the right reasons.
Yeah.
So tuna have fun, tuna enjoy life, tunakula starehe, sherehe. But when I thought about it, niko zile za, am I really even being honest with myself? juu nilijiuliza hii swali am I confident enough that she would make a good mother to my children?
Okay.
Ndio swali.
So she was not good for you, ama?
Baze si kusema hivyo, si kusema hivyo, lakini nilijiuliza tu hiyo swali. And then pia mimi nikajiuliza, okay, if these are the qualities of a wife I'd want, then am I really acting up the way? Am I really stepping up to the person that I want to marry or to be engaged with, you know? So hapo ndio nilijitaka mkutano. Nikaona by the look of things, I don't think we are going in the right trajectory. Because napata weekend ilikuwa tu sherehe. And it's of course sherehe ni fiti, lakini nikiangalia maybe long term goals, because kuna zile, okay, I like telling this to guys when they are dating. Nawaambianga mazee ukidate, hii ni interview process bana. So interview in terms of una set maswali, unauliza msee, what do you think about this? If you're in this situation, how would you respond? Unapimanisha msee like akili yake, you know? If I am absent, if I'm not in the picture, you know, would you still take care? Is this somebody who you would entrust with your empire? Let's say you have a business that you're running and your children are looking up to you and you're not in the picture. Is your partner able to stand up to that challenge? And you know, things like that. So I remember at some point, I think from the look of things and where I stand, I don't want to make a very, I'd call it a personal decision. I didn't call it a selfish decision. I said it's a personal decision. And that's how I told her, Maze, I don't think this thing is working out.
Yeah.
And so I choose to kuchorea. Yeah. And I think it was a bold step I did. And when I look back, I tried to do things. I had literally tried to do things my way. By way, what do I mean? Unachiki venye unaangaliaga movie, unaona boy meets girl, boy takes girl out, boy does this, alafu they mash up, then they fall in love, you know, alafu wanaanzia fantastic family and all that. They'll realize your story inakuaga shenanigan, haikuagi.
Oh, for real?
Inakuaga uongo.
Ni story?
Inakuaga ni hekaya za bunwasi. Bana. Yeah. So, now that is where I'm now coming with this story. So muuliza swali poa sana. Hiyo journey ya dating.
Yeah.
So initially how and normally how it actually happens in real time inakuaga boy meets girl, boy likes girl, or girl likes boy. And then dem like Charlie anafanya nini? So sinajaribu kumuu. So hapo masimu matext nini by that unaweza do nini, unaweza come over mtaani tutulie to Netflix and chill. Unajua like inaanziaga hivyo. So Netflix and chill amekam, of course 1 2 3 zina happen, and ideally the initial impression inakuaga we start with physical attraction, sindio? So you start with physical attraction, and this is a concept I learned from a book I read.
Okay.
Yes. And now you'll understand why I'm saying from the start, how I used to date, I realized I used to date wrong.
Okay.
Yes. So there's a way to date right. Kwa pamoja. Yes. Tunaenda tu pole pole.
I'm with you over there.
So pale ku date wrong, nilisoma hii book ndio niliget to understand how do people date wrong.
What book is it first?
Hiyo kitabu mtu wangu inaitwa Waiting and Dating. Mtu wangu,
yes.
Wait and Date. Start Waiting and Dating by Miles Monroe.
That's a great guy.
Miles Monroe. Hey. Alikuwa ananibless sana. So I'd listen to him over and over. And then after some time niliona, okay, I'm doing things my way. It is not working. Let me seek knowledge from someone who has actually been there, done that, and has insight on that. Because when you umesema, tunapata a lot of information from different sources.
Too many sources. Yeah.
Na they are not necessarily the right message. So maybe a snippet before I go to the main bit. Hey, story. So maybe a snippet before I go to the main vibe is, so he once gave an example which totally related with me. If you buy something like a phone, unabayingi phone inakuwaga imekwa kwa box yake. So tuseme unatafuta the latest iPhone, kwanza nimeona iPhone 14 imetoka. So ukienda kwa duka unatafuta iPhone 14. So you find it in a box. Of course, before itoke kwa hiyo box, it was manufactured. So the manufacturer knows everything about the phone and tested it before that phone came to be packaged and iletwe kwa hiyo Apple store. Pamoja?
Yeah.
So before it came, it was tested. Before it came to that shop, it was approved. By
the like steps before it reached.
There were steps
before it reached you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that iPhone, so you buy that iPhone because of the credibility of the different iPhones that have been there before, and the credibility of the manufacturer. So if the iPhone malfunctions, to whose disadvantage will it be? Itakuwa ina affect the reputation of the manufacturer. Tuko pamoja? So ukienda kubuy simu, unatafutaga the best phone, alafu by the time uipate, of course umesave up, umekama, umeekelea hiyo do, umepatiwa product, umeenda nayo mtaani. Ukienda nayo mtaani, what do? You unbox. Na video mingi sana. Unboxing. So you unbox. So what do you get on the immediately you remove that white cover? Unapataga aka manual. Exactly. So your manual, what does it show? It shows that okay, this is iPhone 14. The manufacturer is Apple. This is then it gives further details. Alafu itapatiananga like a list of instructions. Do's and don'ts.
Okay.
So ideally, ni mara ngapi unachukuaga simu ati unasoma manual? You don't really do that. But that is how the manufacturer intends you as the end user to receive that information.
Okay.
So ukichukua hiyo product umeichukua, unachukua manual, unafaa usome. So kwa do's inakwambia nini? Store in a cool dry place, ama dry place, unajua? Alafu inakwambia so inakwambia a list of do's and then inakwambia a list of don'ts. So ikwambia don'ts inakwambia do not insert it in water. Do not use do not put in a microwave. Itakwambia hizo list of do's and list of don'ts. So for you to effectively use this iPhone, lazima usome kenye manufacturer intend to understand as the end user.
Okay.
You get. And once you follow the do's and follow the don'ts, then that phone will serve you for a very long time.
Yeah.
Tuko pamoja? So umeget your concept ya manual. So where am I coming with the vibe? Nilika hivi nikola, okay, hii life nani ametoa hii?
Sagodi.
Ni God ametoa hii life, ndio. So ndio one vitu like ndio uweze ku understand who created you and for what reason ulicreatiwa. Lazima turudi back kwa nani? Kwa God, juu yeye ndio alipatiana manual. Na manual yake inapatiana list of do's and list of don'ts. Pamoja. Ukifuata manual kenye inasema, of course life itakuwa fiti, like itakuwa bearable juu you understand the heart of the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Tuko pamoja? So what am I saying with this story? So initially, mimi nilikuwa naishi freestyle. Sikuwa najua stories za God, nilikuwa tu nasema zile our Lord's Prayer. And that was hizo maprimoni nini seko, pia mafox pale kukusukumilia, so unajipata umeingia hiyo mtaratara kidogo ya you just do because you find people doing, but not because you have a personal relationship with God. And so initially and not even initially, but even when you look at right now, hiyo process inakuangaje ya kudate. Basi upatana, sema unapatana mresh kwa mat, mnapiga story, of course unamlike juu ya venye maybe anakaa physically, dem anakulike juu ya venye what she sees in you, and there's that physical attraction. So what happens next in a typical Nairobi city scenario?
After that, we're in the matatu.
After matatu,
for numbers.
For numbers.
First date. Then all happens.
So date ya kwanza inakujaga, alafu date ya pili anafeel ako comfortable na uchali, and then anafanya nini? Anakaa mta.
That's true.
In most cases
normally the second one and the third one inakuanga finishing the
bana. So when you look at how things operate now, let's say in the world or in the city, that's ideally what happens. You meet, so it starts with physical attraction, then the physical leads to what? So inaanzianga na physical, alafu of course kuna na hiyo part ya you indulge in whatever. And after indulging now in the physical bit now with the chick, hapo ndo unapata guy sometimes for guys unapata maybe the chase inaisha. For chicks maybe yako like okay, so with time inatoka physical, so ndio kwa zile za okay tumezoeana na mato mazee tuko mabeshte, acha niende ni crash kwake weekend, another weekend. So mko like okay, what are we doing together? Tumekuwa tukido hii stuff for the last 3 months or 2 months. We've not defined where this relationship is. Get? And that's normally how
people are normally scared
of that conversation.
That conversation of definition.
Bas, una imagine ukiulizwa ati what are we?
Hey. I know that's this one question that
most guys
don't like, and most girls who are joking around, they don't like a guy asking what are we.
Exactly. So inaanziaga, remember it starts with the physical.
Yeah.
So through that conversation, oh what are we? Let us try to define this relationship, and then you find the chick has an event and she wants to call you over as a guy because you have a physical thing going on. So you go for that event. You meet with her friends, and then her friends are like, okay, I'm actually poa. So that's when you realize, okay, by the way, ako poa, the looks tick, physical tick. And now, at that moment, you start going to the emotional bit. Emotional bit, so mnaanzia kuwa na kama kaubeshte hivi, and mna realize okay, uchali you jam nikifanya hivi na hivi, udem you respond hivi, like that's when you start pointing out the red flags, and also your point here, get to know you. Not even the red flags, as in what drives you, what motivates you, like unapata hapo ndio unaanzia kugenerate a good level of rapport and friendship. After the physical, physical inawaga zile emotions ziko high, excitement.
Mna text and after 2 minutes
mngoja message. I know that feeling. So remember, bado inaanzia na the physical. And then now inaenda to the social. So the social bit is where you get to understand this person. You get to know their highs, lows, how they respond to different situations or react to different situations. And then after that, after hiyo sasa mmeshajuana, ndio mnako zile za okay, are we really compatible? Do I, as in, is this someone who I can stay with for a long time and what's not?
Yeah.
And tumanzira physical, tukienda social, and then the last bit inakonga the spiritual. So spiritual inakonga normally the last process.
Okay.
Last process again, wase whoa. Like that's look at that's if the eventuality uko hata ikwagi at the
guys even who don't look at it.
Exactly.
Because even I had now someone who's close to me was telling me, as long as they are good people, they don't really care about that part. That go far, but
So see that's so it ends with the spiritual bit. But now when I read this book, Waiting and Dating by Miles Monroe, so it reverses that order. Well, I get it completely reverses that order, and it starts with the spiritual. I get, and so when it looks at the spiritual, so that's why you get to identify whether this person you are spiritually compatible. I know it is very countercultural. It is very very different. Hata at the first time nilisoma nilikuwa zile za umza anajaribu kutuambia nini. Ati ukitaka kudate na dem lazima kwanza muagree pale spiritually ndio muweze kwenda this other levels. I get. So it completely it was completely mind-boggling to even digest that bit. Unajua? But then nikasema okay, this guy has written this book and maybe he knows better, and kuna hii place ya Proverbs. So sikuwa nasoma Bible sana, lakini at least Proverbs ina. Proverbs ni general knowledge, and it really gives wisdom and insight to across all religions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So when I read the book of Proverbs, kuna place ilikuwa inasema Proverbs chapter 23 verse 4. By wisdom a house is built, and through knowledge its rooms are established, something like that. So at that point I came to realize, okay, nataka kupata hii wisdom. So kumbuka ile story ya kwanza, ukibuy simu, what does it has a manual, ndio? So juu iko na manual, author ama manufacturer anajua functionality ya hii simu. Una get?
Yeah.
So manufacturer akitengeneza hii simu anajua hii simu itashoot video, itapiga mapicha, inaweza tumika, unaweza install app, inaweza fanya 1 2 3, you know, a lot of things with that gadget or phone. So when you look at the author, who is now God the Father, when he created us, he had to create in his own image and likeness. So nikajiuliza, okay, nani anajua better hii process ya dating kasi God? Ndiye anajua. Yeah. So hata nikajaribu kuangalia, okay, in the beginning alicreate aje hii order ya kudate inafaa kuaje? You know, I just ask myself that question to get to understand why kuna hiyo male female attraction and how that process needs to be realized ndio uweze kupata your partner or your mate. So nikisoma hii book, Miles Monroe alikuwa anasema you need to start with the spiritual. Spiritual in terms of you get to.
So let me ask now, what question did you ask in the spiritual? Just give me an example.
In the spiritual hata sikufanya ati kazi mingi. Nilikam to church, nikaona okay, kama dem anakam church Neza kidogo katika bana. Alafu pia kuget kubonga na msee pia una
you can know where their mind is
also spiritually, because ukipata msee ako mspirit kiasi, as in not kuna spiritual na kuna religious. Ukiget spiritual, then that's a good thing. Religious ni anaweza fanya vitu maybe just because of your mutaratara, but spiritual I look at someone who has a personal relationship with God. The reason why I would advocate for that is because you don't need to worry about many things. Unajua demo ya ako in salvation, as in how you don't get to worry about a lot. Kama ni historia what not, whether she's loyal to you or loyal to God, loyalty needs first to be to God. You get? So when you find someone who you are of the same spiritual mindset, then that clears a lot of issues that you could face uko mbele. Just try to imagine Christian amemarry Muslim. Una get? At the start hapo kuna
at the class it's just physical, because this is what even happens. Many people who are close to me, they date Muslims. But I'm normally like, yeah, okay, I'm seeing you guys. Even you're trying to take things in, but at the beginning, it's excitement, it's you too. But all of them, all that I've had, it gets to a point whereby the guy or the girl, one of them wants to change the other. And mostly, it's normally the Muslim who is trying to change the Christian. Or that's most the ones who I know are close to me. Because they'll tell you, maybe if you're the girl, they'll tell you, I don't like the dress that you wear, because Muslims you like long things, or they'll tell you just small things about their tradition, they try initially in you. You get? So at the beginning it happens, but when it gets that point, the one I've had is when now people start drawing the line. They're like, But at the beginning they don't get realized, which I agree with you that spiritually is for a long term thing.
For a long term. So, because nowadays, in fact, yesterday I was reading a book in about 50% of marriages in the US, they end up in divorce. So, niko is it is too much. Manisha out of any.
I mean, your family, like you just know that they are divorced. Exactly. You know these weddings you're going for the next time you'll be
here. So nikasema, okay, let us try to do it the Christian way. So, see, hapo ndio story ya spiritual inakami. So you start with spiritual. That's how the book recommends, and that is also when you look at various scriptures in the Bible, utapata God alikuwa anasema, do not intermarry.
That's what I even believe in that.
Alikuwa anasema ati Israelites, mazee msiende oe Philistines huko. Look at an example of Samson. He was anointed, appointed by God. Lakini hii kit ilimpeleka hiyo pale, unajua weakness, you know. So there's that first bit, like that is just ground rules. So spiritual tuanzie hapo, and then now we go to the next level, which is social. So social ni ile place yenye mna get to date, mna date, mnaenda out, na si ati mnaenda out ati okay, mnaenda out like literally out. So mnaenda kama ni hoteli, mnakula, mnapiga story, mnaenda maplay. ama mnapiga ma stroll huko Uhuru Park wapi. Mimi nimepiga hizo maraundi na mamamba.
Walai.
Ati stage bana, ati anaenda stage tunasema hii time hapo kuna jam. So badala ya kwenda sahi wacha tupige raundi. Tunaenda tu malaps tao tukipiga story. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to know her as a friend. Kuna kwa gana hii vibe ya when you get to grow in friendship with someone, but there's nothing as good as that because your relationship is founded on friendship. Because guess what? Maze history ya love. That is a hoax.
Even me. Even me, I'm starting to say that. I'm starting to see that love is just even sometimes we don't know if it's lust or love. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's very hard to define those two feelings.
Yes. So unapata inakuwa mostly infatuation, unachikidemu na like. Of course unataka ku get comfortable na yeye, unataka ku get physical, and then unapata, so that is why you literally just go around.
Let me ask you a question on social. There's this statement I had. Some guy was saying that having is your girl fasting, is she okay with your friends? It's like with when you have your friends, Is she friendly with your friends, and is the vibe good with your friends around her?
So that's a very good question.
Yeah.
You know why? Sababu nowadays if you see most relationships how they are, ile scenario ya kwanza tulisema mnapatana kwa mat, mna change number, alafu mna communicate nyi wawili tu, alafu mnampeleka out ya kwanza, you go out, then the second day she comes over or you go to her place. What have you done? You mengia mejieka place mko nyi wawili, and inaweza compromise because ukiwachali na dem kwa hao moja and there's a lot of chemistry nini between you guys, of course what will happen eventually, one thing will lead to another and mtajipata go the physical way. But now the advantage of dating that is dating in isolation. Dating in isolation is where unapigianga tu dem yako, unamwambia niaje kamta, ama tuende out tukiwa tu watu wawili, ama to do life tukiwa tu watu wawili. And you see life haikuagi hivyo. Life inakuaga like the other people around you, their siblings, their cousins. So you get to do life together with people, and now that is so where
in isolation is
dating in isolation is what happens, Mazi.
That's what my ex is fallen.
Full of jokes.
I didn't know isolation was bringing problems to us, but yeah.
So interestingly, ukiniuliza swali ya what I wish I would have known, Mazi ni story ya kudate in isolation. In fact even nowadays kuna mabeshte. Naambiaga una date. Leta ode mko mtaa, kama tupige story, tucheze game. Tucheze spoons, tucheze Kenya at 50, tucheze Scrabble, come to socialize. Because unajua nini? Mkisocialize, mkiwa na mabeshte hapo na uko na huo dem. Now you have a thing for her. You'll get to see her in a natural element.
That's true. And then also your friends can pick up things.
Exactly.
They can be, and I know you don't like this, but your girlfriend is like this. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to?
Exactly. Sasa hiyo ndio ngori si ufanya. Like tunajiingizaga tu hapo like a ship going to slaughter. Tunajipeleka, na unajua dating in isolation, it doesn't really work for the best of you guys.
Okay.
So you need to look for a community of friends. That's why unachiki kudate place ka church, kuna organize ma groups za wase ma church tunazitanga ma discipleship group. So si hang out. So tuki hang out, leta dem yako hapo, acha tupige story na yeye, acha tumjue, tuone kama ako social, tuone as in unajua pia through that it is evaluation. You also get to hear her speak and how she relates with other people.
Because she can treat you nicely, but treat other people like shit.
Exactly. Unajua it's the same way as naitwaje, kuna hii joke tuliyoambia tulikuwa tunapiga na maboy, tunasema mkiwa mmekaa chini base ya maboy, alafu dem anapita, of course dem anajua anaangaliwa. So what will she do? Ata-exaggerate your walk.
Ata-make it slower.
Maze, jua nini? All eyes on her.
All eyes on her.
So that's the same thing when people date in isolation. Unajua udem unataka kumimpress. Udem anataka kuimpress, so what she will be on her best behavior. Hai mtu wangu, hawezi pata ati ako rusted aje. Atakuwa tu always on top of her game, kani nails nini. Yani atakuwa tu fiti. Hata kubonga hizi sema ati oh my weaknesses are this. Atasema tu strong points. Ndio anajua mnapigana ma interview pale. And if she knows she can easily sway you through 1 2 3, she would do that. But now when you have friends, it breaks those barriers. So anakuwa natural. And interestingly mi hata ilikuwa inanibamba juu ile time nilikuwa napata na mama, that's the same thing we did. Tulianzia tu kwa discipleship group yetu.
Did you approach her or she approached you? Or was it like
we started out as friends.
As friends.
So
it was just a normal
friendship,
like
no intentions.
I'm
checking you out to see. But sasa tukiwa kwa hizi magroups zetu zenye tulikuwa tuna hang out after church, tunaenda swimo, tunaenda wapi, tunaenda out. So tukihang out ndio nika-realize na huyu interesting. Anapiga story poa, ana virtues na like. Yani alikuwa tu na some good vibe. Mazee alikuwa ananimaliza.
Wallahi. Hapo ni dream girl proof.
Mazee, and then now interestingly, she was also like spiritual, identified with values I also identified with. So tukibonga pia nika-realize ako so much into family. Na hizo ni vitu pia mimi ziko very close to me. You know, family, good vibes, mtu ako na roho poa. Because I'd see how she treats people around me, my friends. So tukienda kama ni hang out kwangu, so I'd see her anakam, anawashughulikia, anauliza June uko poa, nani yako poa, yani anachunga wase, anataka wase wa feel comfortable. And I was like, now that's my girl. Na sasa hizo hata sijaamua approach wase, lakini nilikuwa
it's all up in the mind.
Mazee. So with time started out just as simply as friends, no expectations. And the interesting thing about it is katika story ya nimesema ya kudate in isolation, tulijaribu as much as possible ku avoid your story. Another thing we did by the way, which I really thank God for that, ni tuliamua kusoma hiyo book ya Waiting and Dating together. Checklist. Ai mtu wangu. Unajua
ama hadi mwana Nairobi aichikangu.
Mtu wangu. Netflix kwa pale series tuna binge watch a whole day. Lakini wazee kushikatuka kitabu tu hivi.
Very hard for guys.
Ni ngumu.
Even that was also a checklist for you. What to agree to actually read.
Because it's now how that looks is you're working on a project together. You're working on something together. So mnasoma hiyo book pamoja. So it's a beautiful thing when you get to do something jointly. Unajua ina add some juice to the relationship. Uko like only team player. Una get. So unaendelea tu kuweka tick. Remember hii yote inaanzia na spiritual, alafu inaenda social, na realize kama mko compatible. So the more I hang out with her, the more I realize that by the way, she makes a very good helper. Very good helper, what do I mean? Mazeni mimi napenda kujuggle a lot of balls in my hand. So nikipatiwa ka project naanzia, hii nyingine naanzia, tuanzishe chama tuanzishe. Lakini hiyo kuisustain kidogo
tough.
Lakini sasa yeye nilikuwa na notice yako very, so she's the planner. Okay. I am the fire starter, but then she breaks it down into steps. I really love that. So hata tukisema ati tusome book, mimi nasema sawa tusome. Alafu yeye angesema ati okay, so si tunaweza kuwa tuna review maybe on a weekly basis. Hata kama ni kuongea tu on WhatsApp call to catch up tuone okay what are our key learnings. Nini tunaweza pick out. Ubeshte tu, lakini tunaona mazee kitu inaenda mahali. So and then now after the social bit is done, and in fact tukienda kitambo wase wako na date for long. Ilikuwa zile za mnapatana, mnajuana. In fact kitambo iliwaga family A, family B, wanaangalia family A kama wako na values. Kama wazazi wenyu wako na respect. Pia wako mahali. Hamwezi kula mapenzi. Hamwezi kula mapenzi mtu wangu.
That's true.
So like you get in the past, they didn't used to take a long time. So even in this case, tulikaa hivi tukaona okay, kila kitu tick and I was willing to settle. Nilikuwa nasema mazee nimemaliza 27 mtu wangu. Miaka inaenda mtu wangu.
Wewe ukicheza around.
Bana, wacha.
It's about that time.
It's about time. And also now interestingly for her, it was the same thing. She was ready to settle, and now naweza kumbuka hata venye hiyo conversation ili happen. I think it started out as a joke. Ikazileza unajua wewe ninaweza kuoa wewe.
Alafu yako.
Maze, anacheka tu lakini of course I meant it. And now interestingly hata hiyo place will you marry me, what not? It came so naturally. Alafu sasa the final bit is the physical. Hii time yote waiting and dating, mna wait. Hii kitu mna wait. Kama mnajua mkika kwa hao ina compromise ability yenu ya kuwait, afadhali mpatane nje. Ama uitabishte yako akaa. Lakini kuna kuona boundaries so that unajua I think you get me when I say.
I get it.
When I say that sometimes tunakuwa compromised when it comes to relationships. Ukitaka physical na msee hauwezi ona mafaults zake.
That's true. Because now you're thinking about you're thinking about the sexual part can actually block.
It can blind you.
It can blind you, block. And I say it does, man.
Kwani ni mara ngapi tumechapiana na maboy tuko buda wanakutumia alafu utalia hayuko hapa au ni mnajaribu kumsikiza
hapo tu mimi namlike
ama madem atachange literally mpoa ni amomjui madem mabishti zake wanamwambia utalia nakutumia lakini dem ako nugget.
So without the sex you can actually now see things.
It makes you sober.
Yeah.
Without sex it makes you very sober.
Well, you have like even a third eye.
Exactly. Unakuwa sasa wewe ndio master. You can see, you can smell mischief from a very far, and so you can easily cut it off.
Yeah.
So I think kama kuna tunaweza push sana ni hiyo story you start from the spiritual, nenda social, level ndio nenda physical. In the physical, hapo ndio Bible inasema and the two shall become one.
Yeah.
So hiyo one inamaanisha nini? One pia physical sasa hapo umepewa
hapo umepatiwa
those
times of waiting and dating. It's about that time. Energy of many years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is what made the difference between the girl you have right now and the others you're dating.
Exactly.
And this one, Ivana. The first time trying this, Ivana.
I didn't stay for long. I think we met this we met like this year, and then an year later tukamari and tukafanya ratio. Those first we had to honor our parents through your traditional wedding, and also tukafanya the real wedding.
So it took a year, 2 years.
It took 1 year.
1 year. That's hiyo tunaweza ngoja. So how do you think guys right now? Of course you talked about that, and guys have already learned about the way to date, the best way to date. For sure, but guys, you see, living testimony. This is not I don't know story anything. So there's so much advice which you've now answered my question, because right now there's so many podcasts, talks that are starting, and many young guys, my friends, are normally sharing. Guys who talk about that, don't date unless you slept with 50 girls, unless you had, I don't know, you made 100,000. No, they talk in dollars now. That kind of a man, like 1 million, 10 million there. So there's all this advice that happens there, and I'm happy that you shared about that. But does money also? Let's talk about this financial part. Because I go to the spiritual, but the financial part, does it? Should you wait for it to make a certain amount of money? Because you told us about sex. Sex, we've seen. Guys, forget about the 50 girls. I think it actually destroys you than building you as a person.
Look to you can do it after.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
Yeah. Because even you regret that 50 girls are like throwaways, like garbage, let me say. Yeah. So what do you think about the financial part?
So for the financial bit, so there are two ways to look at it. So as a guy, especially for guys tunajulikana kama sisi ndio providers, because there's a point that maybe mama anaweza get mtoi and maybe she need to take care of the child. So during that period, you'd still need to provide. So there's that element of guys being looked at as providers in their homes. And ideally, tukiangalia kwa Bible, venye tu ilianzia, taarifa kwa Bible juu, in the beginning, like God ndio alitucreate, so tutapata reference hapo. Ukitaka tu insight yote unapata kwa God. So God created man in his own image and likeness. Alisema be fruitful and multiply and have dominion over the birds of the sea and birds of the air and fish of the sea. So there's that bit of work. God gave man work before he gave him a woman. So kuna hiyo bit ya chali lazima udungewera. Lazima ufanye kazi. Not really about the financial bit ati uko na gari, nyumba. No. But you need to be seen to be working or at least you're putting in some effort, you have some focus.
Yeah.
Unajua kenye unataka kwa hii life, unajua this is my ambition. Like job si kukaa tu mtaa ati kuwekelea tu betting ati unaishi kwa madhako zi. Like go out there and be a man. Unajua tafuta hii kitu,
attack life.
Hustle, attack life. Yani isikuwe ati wewe ni a soft man, because pia mama's boy kidogo haikuagi even attractive.
That's true.
Juu ukienda huko nje now you will literally meet life, and when the girl's father hands the daughter to you in marriage, he expects you to take care of the girl. Unaget? So hiyo bit ya financially, it is very important for a guy to take care of himself. Take care of himself, kugroom, kukaa fiti pia, and also kusave up a bit, kuingia kwa chama, kuweza kuanzisha ka side hustle. Like you need that, wewe actually unafaa ujitume before you ongeza someone else in the life. Unaweza ongeza mtu tena ikuwe sasa you're handling too much, and you see this person is coming as a helper. So hata kama help kitu hakuna,
that's true,
lazima help kitu yenye iko, you know.
Yeah. And then even makes the process harder.
Exactly. And it's funny because I ever had a story where ukitaka kuhama na unataka kubeba fridge, utatafuta msee mwenye anakusaidia kubeba. Ukitafuta mtu mwenye atakusaidia kubeba, you'd be at a more advantage to look for someone who's stronger, someone who will carry most of the load, akusaidia kushukisha kwa stairs. Unaget?
Yeah.
So when you're looking for a helper, what does it mean? Unafaa utafute pia msee mwenye ako stronger mentally, stronger spiritually. So you as a guy, you need to be now the stronger person. Because there are times she'll be weak, there are times she will be, downcast, life huku nje inachapa msee. So come home anafaa feel some sense of security, some sense of responsibility, na anajua mazee ushalia na love mazee. So even if the whole world says what, I know that my home is where I find peace. And vice versa. Life inachapa wanaume huko nje, jobs inaenda like this like that, lakini akikam home anataka pia kupata at least some sense of ownership. Come home mazee, tunakulove, tumekuwa tukikungoja. So like your financial bit ni poa for both parties, that is a guy and a chick, to take care of themselves financially, kuweza kusave, kuweza kuingia kwa machama, and to just do something
just before all this,
before now you date, because now it is stronger when two strong people come to build a family. Otherwise kama msee mmoja ni weak, mwingine ni strong, in most cases mwenye ako chini ata drag mwenye ako strong. So both of you need to be at least at a strong position. Kama ni chuo, umemaliza chuo nyinyi wote, ama mnajaribu kuinuana,
really taking care of your own needs.
Exactly. So it also brings a lot of respect when both of you try to be like on the so that no one
there's
person is taking
and there's no neediness.
Exactly.
Like you're not needy from the other person, they're not so needy towards you. So now as we come to an end of this video, because you've shared a lot, we like what you share, whatever you shared is really helpful towards me. Even it's like, I know there are a lot of guys, but it's like advice towards me, because I'm in that stage of whereby I'm young, I'm being a joke, and I'm also getting jokers. So like you have to do something about it. So what did you expect? Because what did you expect, or what did you know about marriage that you wanted to know?
What I didn't expect. Okay, there can be challenges in marriage. It is not all rosy. It is not all candles and roses.
Yeah.
Kuna time kuna good days na pia kuna valleys.
Yeah.
So you remember that first bit I told you that you first need to be friends? So that's where the friends bit come in.
Okay.
Yes. Because if your marriage was founded on emotions, love is an emotion, hate is an emotion, but you choose to love.
Yeah.
So love is also a choice, and as much as love is an emotion, so in the highs and the lows, you still need that friend in your partner. Ndio uweze ku get along. And also another thing I really appreciate the premarital classes. Imagine marriage is the only institution yenye unaingiaga unapatiwa certificate, shika, umesha sign, wewe umesign, mama amesign. It's the only program that you're given a certificate before you even start. And so ukiangalia kitu kama education system yetu, you study from class 1 to class 8, unapatiwa KCPE. You study, those are 8 years. KCSE, you start from form 1 to form 4. You have to get that, now you get that certificate after 12 years ya kusoma. Kama ni degree, it is 844. 8 years plus 4 years plus 4 years, that is 16 years. Ndio unapata degree certificate. But when it comes to marriage, unaenda pale AG, unasema mimi na like udem na mna marry na mnapatiwa certificate.
Yeah.
But how much time do we invest in marriage?
In that, yeah.
Because you will marry this person and you'll be with them for the next 50 years. In fact, career zetu si usoma maybe easy the last 16 years ndio tuweze kuwork in a career yenye utawork maybe from 25 years to 50 years or to 55 years. So those are around 30 years of active work. But when it comes to marriage, how often do we invest in marriage? Maze we don't. Hata hii ati date. In fact, vile nilisomea kitabu ya waiting and dating, nilitafuta vitabu za relationships mtu wangu. Na ma clip. Hizi ma YouTube videos za marriage, what to know before marriage, na sasa niko naangalia Christian based juu. Sasa
Stephen Speaks not that yet.
No, it was jabskia. But ideally, I sought content and knowledge from people who've been there. Because by the time mtu anaandika kitabu, hiyo kitabu ana summarize life yake ya kama more than 50 years. Amekuwa na wife for more than 50 years. So anakuambia this is what has worked for us. So you need to read that ndio uweze kukua ahead of them. So that you don't get to avoid mistakes. Yeah. So pia kuna mnaweza ingia churches kama Mavuno mazee wako na fantastic program inaitwa Ndoa. Yeah. So Ndoa is a 10-week experience where you get to learn about the other partner, you get to learn about yourself, what to expect in marriage. And sasa now the interesting, in fact tunafaa kwa session nyingine ya hiyo Ndoa because it really speaks into the marriage context na inaondoa hiyo fallacy ya love. Unasikia fallacy ya emotions inaitoa. So mkiingia pale, in fact kuna facilitator aliyetuambia at the success of this class is the number of
breakups you get from it.
Yes, from the class, because inamaanisha better a broken relationship than a broken marriage. You get to discuss things such as in-laws and outlaws, finances, how do you handle money, because wase wakidate atuongeangi hizo topics.
Tricky. Then when you ask it, the other person like
you're trying too much.
Yeah, why are you asking for what? What do you want to tell me? Yes. Then you'll be like, okay.
So I'd really encourage, like dating the godly way, it completely makes sense. And now that's why we have these programs which guide you to date correctly.
And I think keeping emotions also off it is something. And having the logical basis of thinking of it logically, not emotionally.
When people are in love, they do stupid things.
I know. We know. We have been there. We've been there. Till they weep. That's even the stupid in love. There's so much things.
As in you do stupid things, alafu after that relationship is over, ndo unajiuliza ulikuwa unafanya nini?
By the way, mpaka unajikosha heshima kidogo.
Balance. Yes, and now that is also the reason why you need a community of friends around you.
Yeah.
Friends wenye wanakuchapaga makofi wanakuambia buda acha ufala. And in fact, I call out people. Yeah. Kwa mabeshte zangu, I tell them hapa mtu wangu hapa unafanya ufala, acha kenye unadu. Mbona mna date in isolation? Mbona unashindana kama mtaani kwako? Si akuje huku mali tuko wengi.
Yeah. That's when you can actually know. So what's your advice for guys now? For young guys out there who want to get married, they're getting serious, they're in Nairobi. You know guys saying, "Manzo ukisema Nairobi na they want copy Nairobi." So now what's your advice to them?
There are nice people out there.
Yeah.
There are nice girls, there are nice boys. And look for them in the right places. Look for them in the right places and also seek God.
Seek God.
Other Bible lasemanga seek ye first the kingdom of God and all the other things
shall be given.
Relationships, gari, sijui nyumba, nini, all the other things shall be added. So like seek God and seek the manual.
Yeah.
seek God and seek His word.
Yeah.
So His word ndio manual yenye ametupea.
Yeah. That's it, guys. So I was going to also ask you about one thing you should have known earlier, but I can already know your answer from what you've spoken.
Yes.
So with no further ado, so guys, we just finished the video with the man himself, Macho. So we've come to a wrap of this video. I'd urge you guys to like and subscribe to this channel. Comment what actually has resonated with you, what you've said. Like this guy, up on my tick list, and I hope you guys have gotten something from it. So till next time, keep it smiley. We out.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah.